I'm Michelle Franzen in New York, and this is an ABC News Digital Olympic special. Day 12 has already brought gold for one American and more drama on the ice, where host Russia's Olympic hockey dreams turned into a nightmare. First, though, your Olympics in 60. Well, let's take a look at the medal count now, and the host nation is on top, but they are not alone. Russia and the Netherlands lead the pack in overall medals with 22, the U.S. close behind and just one shy, and then Norway with 20 and Canada with 17. Now, looking at the gold tally, the picture is flipped. Norway leads with 9 medals, followed by Germany with 8. Then the U.S. with 7, and Russia and Netherlands round out the top 5 with 6 gold medals each. Well, that medal board will likely change again in just a few short hours. Team USA is determined to make sure of it. Watching it all for us in Sochi, ABC's Amy Robach, who we spoke to earlier today. Amy.
Good morning, Michelle, from a beautiful day at the Games in Sochi. Add another gold medal to the count for Team USA. American alpine great Ted Ligety winning gold in the giant slalom, the first American man to win 2 gold medals in alpine skiing. His first at the Torino Games back in 2006. The conditions were perfect, near freezing temperatures, and Ligety in top form. However, teammate Bodie Miller will not medal, coming up short after injuring his knee in his first run. He is done for the rest of the Sochi Games. On to the halfpipe, soaring and spectacular feat, and another gold medal for David Wise, a 23-year-old youth pastor who met his wife at church camp, taking the gold medal in the ski halfpipe. That's a brand new Olympic event. But Wise had to fight for this one. On his second run, the Reno native fell, hitting the deck hard, but then he nailed this epic move. His wife Lexi cheering him on from the crowd. And Michelle, this snapshot we want to show you of Wise with a good luck charm, a heart-shaped rock. His wife Lexi was able to sneak it into Sochi from their home in Reno, Nevada. And this picture was snapped right before the competition when he pulled off that amazing move. It was in his pocket. It worked like a charm. Looking ahead, Team USA's women's bobsled team, Lauren Williams and Alana Myers, are also chasing gold. They go in today in first place. Williams, who is already an Olympic sprint champion, hoping to make history as the first American woman to ever medal in both the summer and winter games. And ladies figure skating, everyone's waiting for it, finally gets underway today. Americans Gracie Gold and Ashley Wagner facing off against each other. The big question, can they stop Russia's 15-year-old tiny genius, Yulia Lipnitskaya? But the big face-off, U.S. men's hockey taking on the Czech Republic in a quarterfinal showdown. Of course, after 2 big thrilling wins over the weekend, it is do or die today for the 8 hockey teams. Win, and you're guaranteed 2 more games. Lose, you're done. Game over. Team USA expected to use the same lineup that beat the Russian team in the preliminary round. That is the latest from Sochi. Back to you in New York, Michelle.
Well, thank you, Amy. As you mentioned, one of the marquee Olympic events gets underway today in Sochi, ladies figure skating. And joining us on the phone from the Iceberg Skating Palace, Christine Brennan, sports columnist for USA and ABC News contributor. Christine, thank you for joining us. Let's get right into this. Korea's Yoona Kim is an odds-on favorite to repeat as a gold medalist, of course, from her Vancouver days. Should we just hand her the medal right now?
That's a great question, Michelle. But I think the answer is no. It is really, really tough to repeat. In fact, if Yoona Kim does it, it would only be the second time that a woman has ever done this for Olympic figure skating. Sonia Henny, the great Sonia Henny from the past, and then Katarina Witt in 84 and 88. So it's really hard to do. And Yoona Kim is 23, but in skating years, that's probably about 40. It means that she's got a lot to do, and she's got to be as poised and comfortable and confident as she was in Vancouver to pull it off again.
Yeah, she's got some teenagers knocking at her door, along with the breakout star, 15-year-old Russian Yulia Lipnitskaya. She's on her own now. How do you expect her to perform under a different spotlight?
You make a great point, Michelle, about you saw her in the team competition. Very different. The Russians did win the gold medal there, but this is different pressure. This is the homeland. This is a country that right now is dealing from the loss of its men's hockey team just a little bit ago in an arena just a couple, a few hundred yards away. And so she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders. She has skated beautifully so far, as if she has not a care in the world. Can she hold on? Can she keep doing that? And this is a whole different kind of competition now. But if her track record, her history is the guide, she's done it in the past, and I would expect her to skate a clean short program here tonight.
She sure does look cool on the ice and grace under pressure. Moving along here, the U.S. women's team came into Sochi as a definite underdog in the competition, and that's sort of unusual, sort of rebuilding their bench, so to speak. What's happened to the U.S. women's skating program?
It's an excellent question. Certainly, Michelle Kwan was at the top of her game and at the top of the sport for about 10 years. And that's just unprecedented longevity at the most turbulent time in the history of the sport, with people coming up and down so quickly, the little jumping beam coming and going. So I think U.S. figure skating is still reeling a little bit from looking for someone to replace Michelle. And I think the answer is she's irreplaceable. But Ashley Wagner is a two-time national champion, and then, of course, Gracie Gold won the national championship just last month in Boston. So they're a formidable 1-2 punch. I think it's going to be a long shot for them to win a medal. If one of them is going to win a medal, it's probably going to be Gracie Gold. But if they also skate beautifully, perfectly, and finish 5th and 6th, that's how deep this competition is.
Well, Christine, certainly always the ice a big draw for the Olympics, so it looks like it could be anybody's gold, silver, and bronze tonight. Thank you very much for joining us on the phone. And if you want to follow the progress of American skaters, you can go to the times that they will be skating today, and you can check their results immediately on abcnews.com. And now we are joined live via Skype from Sochi by the Wall Street Journal's Sharon Turlip. Sharon, thank you for joining us. And let's get right into it. It looks like Russian men's hockey team did not get what they wanted all the buildup, all the hype, the shootout with the Americans. It all came crashing down today. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's grim. I'm here at the Bolshoi Arena where they played, and fans are downright depressed. I mean, the team just, they struggled on several fronts. They weren't looking very fast. They were looking tired. Goaltending wasn't what it's supposed to be. The team really didn't appear to be clicking. And give the Finns some credit. They were playing at a high level, and they did very well in goal.
What turned this game? How much of a role did Finland's goalie, Tuukka Rask, play in this?
I think you can't underestimate that. I think there were some good attacks on goal. The Russians really picked it up toward the second half of the game and actually outshot the Finns. So definitely, that he was busy in there.
And then what about Russian player? Of course, Pittsburgh star Evgeny Malkin had to tell their coach to pull the goalie when the team trailed late. How is it that a team with that level of players can't find stronger management?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the big questions facing Russia going forward. That was not good. I'm sure, Russian fans remember the Lake Placid move to pull the goalie. It certainly didn't have that drama, but it had kind of the fact that it was the players were involved and everyone wasn't on the same page. That's a question they're going to have to answer going forward.
So those who are following today will have a Scandinavian showdown in one semifinal, Finland and Sweden, a goaltending matchup to remember. And looking ahead, Sharon, we're less than an hour away from the U.S. team facing the Czech Republic in their quarterfinal. What should American fans be looking for?
Yeah, the U.S. team has been clicking. There's a lot of superstars on that team, so I think that was the question going in. They've been good. They've looked strong. Czech team, they definitely have bursts of energy. They've had some good plays, but I think the U.S. should be able to handle this team. I think particularly the U.S. forwards will be hard for the Czech team to hold off.
Do you think it makes a difference for all the teams knowing that Russia is no longer a factor?
I don't know if it makes a difference for the teams. I mean, I think that, both the U.S.-Russia rivalry and the Canada-Russia rivalry, I don't think are quite as intense as they were in the 70s and 80s. But I think where it will be noticeable is the fans and just the general energy at games. I mean, this is an Olympics heavily attended by Russians, and so even when the Russians aren't playing, the Russian fans are there. And so I think this defeat is going to take a little bit out of the excitement.
Any prediction about that U.S.-Czech game?
I think we call it for the U.S. and that's not, the Czech team has had some surprises, but I think U.S. will be able to handle them.
And one more question before we let you go. Canada will play upstart Latvia also at noon, and if the Latvians have a chance at slaying the Canadian Goliath, what will happen next? How will that stack up? Canada does not have a lot of weaknesses. I mean, they have an incredibly solid team going in, but I think the left side of defense might have, if there's a weakness, that's it. So Latvia will have to attack that if they want to have any chance of beating the Canadians. It certainly would be the upset of the games if that happens. Well, thank you. Wall Street Journal's Sharon Turlip. Go claim your seat at the stadium, and thank you so much. You can have live blog coverage of the U.S. men's team game at noon right here at abcnews.com. And for all the latest from Sochi, including who the U.S. men's hockey team will be facing off with the Czech Republic in today's quarterfinal, stay right here on abcnews.com for up-to-the-minute results. Check out our live blog. I'm Michelle Franzen in New York.